Right, let's talk about Leicester City, because as far as we can work out, the press are massively overreacting. Well, that's certainly my opinion. What we've got is the Sun saying 150 million spent and you're still worse than Moyes. We've got ex-players and pundits coming out saying we're a sham, we're a joke, we're going to get relegated, we're not going to make the top half of the table, let alone fourth. So I thought it'd be a good idea if we put that in perspective and just sort of have a look at what's being said and what we actually think is true. So if we look at the Daily Mail, they've come out and said that a player in a very heated discussion in the dressing room after the Leicester game said, "Why the flip did we take off Di Maria?" I've used the word flip. He used a different word that begins with F that is much more offensive, so I won't be saying it. Now, we don't know in what context this was said, because you could casually say, "Oh, why the flip did we take him off?" in a sort of rueful, regretful fashion, but they emphasise the F word to make it aggressive and bold, as though they've been screaming it in Louis van Gaal's face. Like, why did you do that? As though Louis van Gaal isn't the manager and he would have reasons for doing so. I mean, has Di Maria even finished a game yet? I don't think his fitness has been 100%, has it? He cramped up a couple of times in other games, certainly against Burnley, and he may have had a knock. We don't know, is the honest answer. So we can't take a lot out of that. And also, especially in reference to the language, footballers are not famous for their articulate use of vocabulary, it's best said. And also, after a game, there's nothing wrong with heated debate, is there? I play 11 aside on a Sunday. At half-time, we've had words with ourselves to try and encourage each other and tell people that if they're not doing it right, lift it, get it right. Sometimes that requires aggression, other times it requires an arm around the shoulder. So there's nothing wrong with them having it. It's better than they all just go in there and go like, "Oh, well, at least we got paid this week, never mind." We want a bit of passion, and if anything, sort of shouting and aggression is proof of passion. I mean, we saw Wayne Rooney kicking off. Sometimes we've said an arm around the shoulder is better than just screaming at somebody, but at least he's passionate about it and was behaving like a captain. Roy Keane would have been incredibly proud. What else has been going on? So we've had dissent in the dressing room, and also now lots of people are pointing out the obvious that we've known for ages, that we've spent lots of money on attacking players and not necessarily addressed the problems we had in defence. At the start of the season, transfer window, not season, we all knew we need a centre-back and a solid, strong, aggressive central midfielder to control games. We haven't necessarily bought those players, in that we haven't bought a centre-back at all, although it looks like Rojo maybe will fill that hole. And we bought Blind and Herrera, who aren't aggressive central midfielders, but they are supremely talented and between them control a game. So, I mean, people saying, "Oh, well, Di Maria, Falcao, what a waste of money, didn't need them." We know we didn't need them. We didn't buy them instead of buying a centre-back. We should have still bought a centre-back and still bought Di Maria and Falcao, because when players of that calibre become available, you buy them. I mean, look at Di Maria's goal against Leicester. I mean, that was unreal. He just said, physics, I've no respect for you, sort this out. So it's not a case of, well, we could have bought Hummels, but we bought Di Maria. We couldn't get the defenders. They obviously wanted centre-backs. They couldn't get them. That doesn't mean we've just gone, well, we'll just buy some forwards instead. That wasn't a plan. It does look like this is a huge overreaction, in my opinion. And let's put this in perspective. This is our 5th game of the season. At no point did Louis van Gaal say, "Tell you what, this season's going to start, we're going to win every game to begin with, we've got 5 new players, they're going to bed in instantly, and it's all going to be resolved. We've got rid of 14 players, there's no question that the squad's harmony will be affected, everybody will know their role from day one." Obviously that's not the case. It's 5 games in, give it some time. He was saying about 3 months was ambitious. We know this is going to be an up-down season. Sometimes we're going to overperform, other times we will underperform, because we have new players and we have a new manager who are getting used to living in a new country, speaking a new language constantly all the time, and playing teams they don't play against all the time. We know Van Gaal said he put effort into studying Leicester, but that doesn't mean he can account for things like this. The real problem, it seemed, was a lack of a lack of an experienced leader at the back, which we know we don't have. We've got Raphael's 2nd game of the season, Rojo's new to the team, Tyler Blackett's 7, and Johnny Evans got injured, came off for Smalling. Now, people say, "Oh, you need an experienced centre-back." How do you get an experienced centre-back? Somebody has to have the faith to play them when they're young. Nemanja Vidic, at a point, wasn't an experienced centre-back. If you remember, his first 6 months in English football were awful. He was not great. Neither was Evra. And look how much better they were for that experience. People like Smalling and Raphael and Rojo will learn from this, and Tyler Blackett especially. They're not going to go, oh, well, that was a nightmare, better do that again. This is how you become experienced. It's not ideal because we'd rather have an experienced centre-back there as well. Like if we'd signed Mats Hummels, that would have been perfect. But we couldn't get that player, so we have to allow the current players to get that experience. It's not ideal. We'd rather have a better player in centre-back, but we don't have one. So we just have to trust the players we've got and hope that, like, people saying, like, Van Gaal doesn't rate Luke Shaw. Nonsense. Luke Shaw has been injured. Van Gaal said, sign him. He gave that signing the green light. He was up for it. It's mad to go, well, he's been injured. He hasn't played him. He obviously hates him. Luke Shaw will be playing the moment he's fit and ready to play. There's no question about that. It's madness. And in my opinion, the papers have massively overreacted. Phil Neville's come out and said we need to spend 100 million. Where, Phil? Honestly, where does that 100 million have to be spent? It's ridiculous. We need, if you want to be title contenders this year, a proper world-class centre-back, obviously. If you want to win the Champions League, we probably need a Vidal-type character in the middle as well. Where else do you want to improve? Like, you just can't just pull a figure out the air and go, that's what we have to spend. That's what will make us. It's just madness. It doesn't make any sense. And because it's Manchester United, everybody goes bonkers. Like, the perfect example of this is with Varney pushed Raphael over, ran to the box, dived, obviously. If Ashley Young did that, nobody would be saying, what a remarkable comeback. They'd be saying, well, yeah, it was a good comeback, but it all spun on that dive, and people would be pointing fingers. Instead, they're going, get him in the England squad. He's brilliant. Because it's sort of David versus Goliath. So Goliath, big one, always gets the abuse and is always expected to do better. And as Manchester United fans, we have to deal with that. But it would be nice if the journalists did their job as well and did some actual analysis and looked into the game rather than just going, oh, Man United, rubbish, lost again. That is my opinion anyway. Please let us know yours. Write it down below. Tell us what you think. I mean, should Mata be playing in the 10 role instead of Wayne Rooney? That's up for debate, isn't it? That's another interesting quandary to our team. Please let us know what you think. Write it down below. Subscribe to Full Time Devils. Like this video and share it with your mates. Get the conversation going. Have a really nice day. How about you actually put any facts in your articles as opposed to just tripe?
Why don't you go around to Tyler Blackett's house for lunch, have a chat with him?
Yeah. Oh, they've got no players anymore. They just buy Di Maria. Well, Di Maria's really good.